Welcome back, family. So, I wasted so many years, so much time trying to make my creativity look like what I thought people wanted. When I first started creating, you know, I thought about, or I thought the proper way was to, assimilate, to kind of blend in and create the content that people wanted, brands wanted, companies wanted to get a yes. And I think that went like a little bit with my life as well. Growing up from my hometown and everything, you assimilated to basically to fit in and basically to survive. So you suppress what your true voice, your true I, your true thought, your true identity, your true sense of style, how you talked, how you walked, to get a yes. And I think that also manifested in my creative journey. So basically, I wasn't really creating from my identity. I was creating from insecurity. And it had, it's a great lesson to learn, but it definitely, you know, I wasted a lot of time. And we know time is one thing that you don't get back. I was trying to, sound polished, cinematic, professional enough to impress, instead of just trusting my own self, trusting my own voice, trusting my own identity, my own creativity. And you pay some price for that, because you're basically just trying to be a template. you know you take inspiration and you almost imitate it or emulate it, instead of taking inspiration and making it your own and creativity, and just leaning on the instinct of what God gives you. But that lesson, changed a lot. Sometimes it's meant for you to niche down and everything else, and then sometimes it's meant for you to become the niche. And instead of like standing 10 toes down and being the subject matter expert of what you're doing, you kind of just whatever the client wants or whatever this person wants or this and that, instead of articulating and standing firm on boundaries of what will work. The and in that whole lesson is lessons that I wish I just learned sooner. Your uniqueness is your strategy. There's only one you. There will always only be one you, and nobody can do you like you. And so you have to lean into that. It means that at any table that you sit at, any room that you walk into, it really means that you can bring something that nobody else can. You can bring a solution that nobody else can. That goes into that your voice is the differentiator of it all. And that, your identity is what makes your work powerful. So I really wished I would have grasped those things sooner. My career would be a completely different level right now. I have be in a different stratosphere, honestly. But sometimes we're right where we need to be. For that to help others as well. Of course, I would have stood out faster. I wouldn't have gone through so much burnout because I was carrying something or doing something that I really didn't have any true passion for. I would have been more confident in how I charged or how I approach projects and stuff. So I really just, want to encourage everybody in your life. And if you're a creator, don't mute yourself. Don't mute your identity trying to fit in. Trust yourself. Trust your personality. Trust your instinct. Trust your eye. Trust your gut. Because you're somebody that nobody else can duplicate. Simple. And, if this hits home, share this with a creator. Share this with just somebody in general that you think that was help. If this hits home, give it a like. Leave a comment. Subscribe if you haven't. Subscribe if you haven't. I always like to do that. I don't know. I apologize. That was kind of like cringy. It's a little secondhand embarrassment. But anyway, but yeah, I just wanted to kind of come on today and just share that with y'all. I hope y'all have an amazing day. Remember, keep on rolling, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.